The podcast has been accused of spreading dangerous misinformation.
Joe Rogan, one of the world's most successful podcasters, is finally addressing his latest controversy.
Hello, friends.
Responding in this nearly 10-minute-long video posted to Instagram.
I'm not trying to promote misinformation. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've never tried to do anything with this podcast other than just talk to people and have interesting conversations.
The reason?
Because I'm still in love with you.
76-year-old Harvest Moon singer Neil Young, holding Rogan's and his employer Spotify's feet to the fire for allowing the host and his guests to spread what Young says is rampant misinformation about COVID-19 and the vaccine. The rocker threatening it's me or him, eventually pulling his music from the platform. Young's protest, echoing the detailed objections made by 270 experts in an open letter to Spotify, published in early January.
Neil Young is one of the all-time iconic singer-songwriters in rock history.
He was known for protest music.
Yeah, and he is very principled. He is almost the definition of an iconoclast, but his protest history, his history of speaking out goes all the way back to the 60s. In 1970, after the Kent State massacre, I'll call it that, where students were shot by National Guardsmen, students who were peacefully protesting, he wrote a song about that called Ohio, 4 Dead in Ohio.
What if you knew her and found her dead on the ground?
So yes, he has a long history of stances.
But Rogan's popularity cannot be understated. His flippant attitude and irreverent curiosity have earned a cult-like following with an estimated 11 million listeners per episode. In May 2020, he landed an exclusive deal with Spotify worth more than $100 million, one of the first of its kind for the medium, catapulting his show to the #1 podcast in the world, even attracting celebrity fans like Aaron Rodgers, who says he consulted Rogan about alternative COVID treatments during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show.
I've been doing a lot of the stuff that he recommended in his podcasts and, on the phone to me.
Rodgers is one of the several highly influential athletes accused of sidestepping the world's public health efforts in combating the coronavirus. He remains unvaccinated. Now musicians, medical professionals, and podcasters alike are standing by Young, saying the tech company should bear some responsibility for its content. Spotify responding to the criticism. In an open letter, CEO Daniel Ek writing in part, "It is important to me that we don't take on the position of being content censor, while also making sure that there are rules in place and consequences for those who violate them."
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Rogan is also known for promoting the drug ivermectin on his show, The Joe Rogan Experience, despite FDA warning that it's not been shown to help with COVID-19 in any rigorous studies and may be dangerous.
I think specifically a lot of times on Joe's show, they encourage the wrong thing, and it's disingenuous and dangerous at times. And we felt like we had no choice but to stand with Neil.
Guitarist Nils Lofgren of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, pulling nearly 27 years worth of his solo work off the site.
I hope that there'll be a dozen or so huge artists, young and old, that join us.
Young's longtime friend, Joni Mitchell, also pulling her music from Spotify, saying irresponsible people are spreading lies that are costing people their lives. Harry and Meghan, who themselves landed a multi-million-dollar deal with the platform, also expressing concerns. Spotify announcing they're now working to add a content advisory to any podcast episode that includes a discussion about COVID-19.
These companies are businesses. Spotify is probably doing the least risky thing possible by saying, well, we're going to keep Joe Rogan, but we'll certainly provide warnings or avenues where people can gather more information if they want to get it.
Spotify now joining other online platforms like Facebook and Twitter, who have made changes in response to the growing wave of misinformation.
Companies don't have to do this. There are 3 reasons that companies might want to do this. Number 1, they would say it so they can do the right thing. Number 2 is because they're getting a lot of pressure to do it. And number 3 is, I think a lot of these companies are concerned that if they don't do more, that they could end up getting regulated more by the government.
While Spotify's market value dropped by more than $2 billion over the weekend,
I'm sorry.
following Rogan's
if you
apology
enjoyed
today,
the podcast,
the
thank
company's share price actually rebounded.
Thank you all.
I think people were looking at the long-term damage, the potential for long-term damage, because when Neil Young removed his music, people were just like, oh my God, is everybody going to follow him? Well, so far, there doesn't seem to be a big rush for the exit.
Do listeners on Spotify hold any power here of holding Spotify's feet to the fire?
The only way that listeners can vote to protest is to leave. And I don't know if they've released numbers of how many people have canceled subscription, but that is all listeners really can do, except make noise on social media, and boy, are they doing that.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.